So are we live now? I'm pretty sure we're live now. Okay, so I'm here with the one and only Jinx Monsoon. I can't stop. Yeah, we like to be intimate here. So we are at Katya's birthday funeral. How are you feeling right now?
My mother always told me, you should only say good things about the dead. Katya's dead. Good.
So was that a read or was that your innermost
It's
secret?
a direct quote from Betty Davis, and you need to do your research.
I do need to do my, okay, I was just read, and I do need to do my research.
Oh my God, is that what I look
We are live. Oh, Lord.
I'm so pink.
So tell me about your day. Tell me about your day.
It's piggy. Okay.
Tell me about your day at DragCon.
Well, it was a lot. It was long, and it was wonderful. It's a lot to be a celebrity thrust into the sea of your fans, you know? And for me, the only hard part about DragCon is I feel so bad if someone's like, Jinx, can I get a picture? And I'm dragged away to the next thing I have to do, and I don't get to take that picture with that person because it's like, you know, it means the world to them. So if anyone wanted a picture and didn't get one, I am so sorry. I am personally sorry. We're in the middle of an interview. Oh!
Like so upset, so we need to get
Last question. So how often do you do meet and greets?
Was that weird to you, or was it only weird to me?
It was a little weird. Let's just roll with it.
I'm in the middle of like, I'm so sad.
Let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it. So how often do you do meet and greets?
Every day of my goddamn life. But you know what? It's nothing I was ever prepared for when I was thrust into this, you know, meeting 200, 300 people in a couple of hours. I'm a very introverted person, so to be on stage for that long, because it is like being on stage, you know, having to meet your fans and having to give them that little taste of what they want. It's more than I was expecting, but to see how happy it makes people makes it worth it. You know, the fact that like if I had gotten to meet so many of my drag idols at such a young age, you know, maybe things would have been even more fabulous than they already are. Who knows? Who knows?
So what's the most touching feedback you've received from a fan?
Well, I really appreciate anyone who tells me that watching my journey on Drag Race really helped them through their own thing. And then she just walks by. This is a hell of an event, isn't it?
Let's just roll with it.
Very well coordinated.
You'll have to represent the professionality of the event.
Only professional here. No, it's like this. It's like I went on that show to do my best and to ultimately win.
Well, it's Sharon.
I feel like I'm at a circus. I feel like I'm at a fucking dog and pony show right now.
Sharon!
I should at least win Best in Breed for this. What I was trying to say is I didn't do anything but go on that show and try to do my best and try to win the competition.
And you did.
And I did. But the fact that people were able to draw more from that than just a competition and just drag queens, you know, being catty to each other. The fact that they were able to draw inspiration out of that is the best added bonus that I never knew I was going to get, but I'm so thankful that I have. You know?
And you really are an inspiration. I mean, people are still saying water off a duck's back. I mean, how does that feel, really? Honestly, how does it feel to have something so simple, like a quick little mantra, become this huge thing that people just repeat over and over daily?
Well, it makes me very appreciative because you know, like I said, I came out at age 14, 15. Not 14 and 15, I came out, it didn't take a whole year to come out. No, I came out at age 14, and by 15 I was a drag queen. And if I had gotten to meet my idols and stuff that young, like these kids are getting to do, you know, I would have told them that like just watching them do drag and just living their life out loud the way that they do is all the inspiration I need. It's like before the It Gets Better videos were out, I just went to drag shows and that was my It Gets Better, you know? So I'm very happy to pay it forward because I know the impact a drag queen can have on a young queer kid or a young awkward kid or a young gender non-binary, non-conforming kid. Drag has a huge impact on them.
I mean, speaking of that, you just had an impact on me, you know, regarding the Betty Davis thing. I just realized, you know, there's so many things that we don't know in the game community. I mean, that we should, right? Because that was an idol of yours and an inspiration of yours. little Edie. You kind of introduced her to the world. How does that feel to be kind of teaching the next generation about your idols and your role models?
I really think that's what a drag queen's purpose is. Because drag queens, whether they impersonate pop icons or they just like draw inspiration from pop icons, what we do is keep certain elements of the important aspects of our culture from that time and that era alive for the younger generations. You know, if you've ever read Fahrenheit 451, the book, you know, it's a book and a movie.
I'll watch and read both.
If you've ever read or seen that, the whole thing is that at the end it's revealed that these people are still alive and all their one purpose is to memorize a book and recite that book to the younger generation, because books have been banned and outlawed and stuff, and so their job is to keep the memory of these books alive. I think drag queens do that for pop icons.
They absolutely do.
Because I wouldn't have gotten so into Betty Davis and Judy Garland and Little Edie and all these other wonderful inspirations that I draw so much strength from if there hadn't been drag queens showing me what was so fabulous about them in the first place. So I'm happy to pay that forward and do that for the next generation. And if it means they have to get off of Instagram for 2 fucking minutes and look up something on Wikipedia, then they should do it, because if Jinx is telling you, look this person up, trust me, it's worth the look up.
Well, maybe you can teach people on Instagram. How about that?
I never miss an opportunity to teach people things, even if it's just teaching them how to appropriately dip a chip.
And I think you do. I think you really do. So thank you so much. Again, this is Jinx Monsoon, RuPaul's Drag Race winner, season 5.
And if anyone who just walked in front of the camera watches this, I see you, bitch, and I'm coming for you.
We see each other. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was Jinx. Let me see who else I have with me. Let's see. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, nice to meet you all. This is Milki Vinyl from Tel Aviv, Israel, reporting to you live.
Tel Aviv, Israel. So how come you're here all the way from Tel Aviv? For DragCon, I'm assuming?
Well, actually, I've been living in the States for over 2 years now. Yeah, I used to live in all kinds of places. Some are more interesting, some are more weird. I used to live in Miami, Florida, St. Louis, Missouri, Durham, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Francisco, Tyler, Texas, and right now, LA.
Okay, so the South can't be easy. I heard the Carolinas there and Texas. What was that experience like for a drag queen?
Well, I headed there, but, you know, we're going through it, and now I'm in LA, which I love.
So how is LA different? Just a few examples.
LA is so free, it's so fun, you can do whatever you want, you can be whoever you want to be, and no one will say a shit about you.
Okay, sounds about accurate. So, again, tell me something about LA that made you move here.
Well, I've been performing in drag for over 5 years now. And I think LA is just the best place to do it. I mean, this is the motherlode of drag. This is the place to really develop it, take it to the next level, get to meet all of the people. This is the real industry. And this is why I'm here today.
How would you describe your drag?
It can be sexy, it can be sassy, it can be cruel. I'm very versatile.
Bloop. So where have you performed since you're international?
Well, I had a major career in Tel Aviv, but then I decided to move to the States, and I performed in Miami most of the time. I used to live there most of the time. I performed for Miami Beach Gay Pride, Macho Festival, and in LA, actually I haven't performed yet. I just moved to LA 3 months ago.
Okay, so how does Tel Aviv compare to Miami?
Well, you know what? Tel Aviv is kind of a combination between Miami and LA, and I think there is no place like Tel Aviv in the world. We have amazing, amazing, amazing drag community in Israel. It's growing big by the day, by the year, by the month, and it's also very diverse. I think very much like LA, you have so many different kinds of drag, and not just like the classic kind of drag that people used to do back in the 90s or even the early 2000s. Right now, people are they're taking it to the next level. So it's so interesting to see how it develops. And I think also for myself, I'm trying to do as many different things as I can within drag.
So would you ever consider moving back to Tel Aviv?
I would love to go back, but actually right now I see my future in here.
So are you inspiring people to move here? Are you telling them about your amazing experience? And
Well, actually I have lots of friends from Israel living in LA or in the States. And I have right now 3 of my best friends from Tel Aviv, Israel, visiting right now for DragCon. So it's amazing, and we had an amazing weekend together. And what do you know? Anything can happen.
so speaking of DragCon, how was your DragCon? How was your DragCon experience?
It was my first DragCon. It was very interesting, fascinating, fun. I get to meet all of these amazing queens. I went to see the panels. It was so interesting. And I actually think beyond of all the experience, it's something so much bigger. It's the ability to have DragCon with, I don't know how much, 5,000 people maybe, or even more.
Probably more.
Probably more. And so many queens, so many people that, how can I describe it? But it's hard to describe, but it's an amazing feeling. It's a freedom feeling. You get to do whatever you want to do. Nobody will criticize you. Nobody will tell you yes or no. You just here, you live the moment, and it's amazing.
So who are some of your inspirations?
Wow, that's hard. That's a hard question.
Doesn't have to be drag queens. It could be anyone.
Of course not. Oh, thank you, baby. You know what? This is so hard to answer, but I think my real inspiration is back from Tel Aviv. The kind of like drag mothers I have, because in Tel Aviv, we don't have drag families, we have one big family. Everybody's drag mother and drag sister. So that's the place where I really became who I am as a drag queen. That's the place where I used to perform most, learn more about myself, and made the biggest process of my drag career. So I would say my inspiration is either from the past in Tel Aviv, and of course it's object with the future here in the States.
So that's so interesting. Tell me more about the whole family dynamic there in drag. Because here we're very used to drag mothers and sisters and stuff. Do you have like a house? Like some...
So in Israel we don't really have a house. We have, I would say, we have few drag mothers, which are like the mothers, and they have so many daughters and so many granddaughters, so everybody's connecting to each other. We all worked with each other at a certain point of our life. We have in Israel a drag theater show. It's called Peot Kdoshot, which is Holy Wigs. It runs on stages for over 4 years now. It's sold out every show. It's very amazing to see it because all the people from all over Israel are coming to see drag, paying to see drag in theater, not in clubs, not in bars, theater, arts.
So is that accessible to most people, or is it expensive? How does that work? Because, drag is all about, sharing.
Of course. So actually it's very accessible for everybody. And I know so many people who went to see the show even more than 5 or 6 times. And this show is amazing. This show actually tells the history of Israel from the day we founded our country and even before, through the Israeli songs of all the biggest divas of Israel. It's hilarious, it's genius, and if you ever gonna get to Israel and Tel Aviv, you have to go and watch Holy Wigs, which are my sisters, and I love them.
So, speaking of your sisters, is one of them by any chance Dana International?
Say it again?
Dana International. It's the only trans performer I'm familiar with from Israel.
Diva!
So tell me, how was she an inspiration to you?
Definitely. Dana International is one of the biggest inspiration for the gay community, for the drag community, for the trans community, for every kind of a performer, for singers. She's unbelievably humble when you meet her in person. I used to live a few blocks away from her in Tel Aviv. She's so kind, she's so nice. She just following her own truth. She's not afraid of anybody. She will read you to filth whenever she feels like it. And she's definitely an inspiration. And I got to share a stage with her on Tel Aviv Pride 2015. which was amazing.
Because, you know, she's a trans personality, very famous trans icon. So right now we have Peppermint on season 9, who's openly trans, and we've had other queens in the past express that, you know, they're transitioning. Is it the same in Israel where the trans and the drag community are sometimes blended and very close?
So first about Peppermint, I just want to say I'm so proud of her. She's doing an amazing job. I love her as a person. I got to meet her in person yesterday, and today she also gave me as a gift a signed shirt, which I say forever. She's amazing. I love her, and she's an inspirational to all of trans who are doing drag. In Israel, I would say we have about maybe, well, there's a lot of transsexuals and transgender in Tel Aviv that started doing drag before their transition. And right now, really living a drag career, I would say maybe we have about 3 or 4 transgenders or transsexuals. And in Tel Aviv, everybody except everybody. So, and I guess here in the States there are so many more drag performed by transsexuals, but also in Israel it's very progressed. Everybody's doing everything.
That's so interesting. So tell me about your name. How did you get your name?
Oh my God, that's actually a very funny story. When I first came out in public, in drag, wearing makeup and heels, I went to a club, and my very good friend Kay Long, which is a very famous drag queen in Israel, she pulled me up on stage and she's like, okay, so tell everybody what's your name. And I was so shy. It was like over 5 years ago. So shy. I had no idea what name should I call myself. And so she told me, you know what, let's play a game. I was like, well, what do I have to lose? She asked me, what was the name of my first pet? That was Milki, my dog since when I was, I guess, 3 years old. And then she came up with another last name, which I really didn't like. And I decided I'm gonna make myself Milki Vinyl, because I really like performing disco and 70s and all kinds of music that you could have got only on vinyl records.
I see, so it's vinyl, Milki Vinyl. Okay, got you. Okay, so you don't have a family name in your drag family?
No, in Israel you don't have no one with the same family name.
I see, okay. So tell me more about coming to LA and starting your kind of career here. So you said you've lived here for 3 months. How do you go about getting into the drag community and getting booked?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really looking to work full-time in drag, because right now I do have other priorities since I just moved to the States 2 years ago, and that's a long process, which I have to consider, you know, living. But definitely, I believe this is a nice chance to get to know other queens. I got to meet Morgan, she's a sweetheart. Raja, Raven.
They're super nice, aren't they?
Super, super nice. I was so happy to meet them and realize they're so nice. You can just sit with them at Mickey's, smoke a cigarette, enjoy a nice conversation, a nice drink, and this is how you create friendship to the long term. This is how you create the connection if you want to get booked. So, you know, I'll take everything step by step.
So I'm kind of curious about Tel Aviv again. So tell me about your Pride. I know your gay Pride is very famous. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so actually I just met Sharon Needles 2 minutes ago, and she's going to Tel Aviv Pride with Jinx Monsoon this year. They're both super excited, and they should be. Tel Aviv Pride is like nothing you've ever seen. It's a crazy week, full of parties, full of events, full of beautiful people, full of tourists. All the city is colorful, parties everywhere, music, good vibes, people, and the parade itself, it's awesome. You actually get to walk through all of Tel Aviv. All of the people in the buildings are cheering for you. I used to do Tel Aviv Pride for 5 years when I used to live in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv Pride 2015 was actually the biggest year for me. I get to perform on the opening show. I get to walk to be on the track. And I get to do the final show with Dana International and Conchita Wurst from the Eurovision.
Oh, so Conchita, you know her too? You've worked with her multiple times maybe?
Well, I met her only once for like 10 minutes in Tel Aviv Gay Pride 2015. She was a sweetheart. And what I was telling to Sharon about Tel Aviv, you should get ready. because this will blow your mind.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We have Milki Vinyl from Tel Aviv, Israel. And yeah, enjoy your night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you, you too. Ooh. All right. That's the red carpet. We're good?